In beginning the bottle study, I'm going to find the basic geometric form that best defines the overall object. In this case, that's a cylinder. So I'm going to begin by roughing in a cylindrical shape that is accurate to the proportions of the bottle. Once the cylinder shape is established, I'm going to then find the major points that give the contour, and roughly 3/4 of the way up, 2/3 maybe of the way up, is where the bottle begins to turn from the shoulders into the neck. So I'm just going to indicate that point, and from there find the contours that define the outside edge of the bottle. Now that a line drawing of the bottle is complete, I'm going to place the cube into the drawing that the bottle is resting on. This cube is being drawn in a little different fashion from previous tutorials. I'm beginning with the top plane because that is where the bottle makes contact, and that's where I can most accurately establish the relationship of the cube to the bottle. Once that top plane is put in, then I can just drop down the vertical lines. With glass, it's important to understand that the transparent nature allows light to not only impact the outside surface, but inside the bottle as well. Light is refracting, and you're going to get backlighting from inside the bottle. So it's important to understand this before we move too much further. But as always, I'm going to darken in the background to bring the object forward. Now I want to think about, as the light source is coming in from the right side, how it's going to impact the opposite side, the left side of the bottle. The lower left corner, which is opposite the upper right shoulder of the bottle, is actually going to have some nice lighter values that will contribute to the illusion of the bottle feeling like glass. But as always, I'm going to begin first by establishing the darkest values, and those are around the shoulder of the bottle up into the neck, and some areas along the sides of the bottle. This is where the glass is most dense. I'm finding the back edge of the ellipse that is from the base of the bottle. I'm also adding that little detail inside the bottle where it's a element that comes from the actual process of making the glass shape. Now I'm going to focus on the values that I see happening inside. This all needs to be established before I worry about any of the surface qualities. I'm making sure to preserve the cylindrical shape of the object by making sure the material is kind of wrapping around the form of the object. Now that plenty of material has been laid down, I can begin modeling what's on the paper with just some of the residual pastel that's on my fingers and on the paper, and use this to find some of the middle tones, the middle values that are in the object. Now I can make some final specific decisions as to what's happening inside the bottle, around the bottle. I have given some attention to the cube. I have added the cast shadow that connects one object to the other. This now kind of brings the composition together, and with the inside values of the bottle established, you can see there's a nice kind of glow to the object, and it really begins to feel like transparent material. I have switched to the eraser as in previous tutorials. I'm using that as a drawing tool again to put light back into the object. Now it's time to make some decisions about the exterior surface, and I'm going to start pulling some of the highlights that I see on the bottle and looking for the reflections that I see as well. It's this sharp contrast of brilliant highlights against dark reflections that really give the surface quality to the drawing. Now I'm focusing on the highlights that are around the shoulder of the bottle as it tapers into the neck, and here it's important to pay attention to the intensity of the highlights, the shapes that each one has. It's important that the qualities be preserved of these highlights, because if they're just put on at random, or if they're uniform and all the same, then it tends to kill the three-dimensional illusion of the drawing, and it takes away from the surface quality that you're looking for.